Throughout the novel, many characters are faced with the inevitable challenges of life. Different events in the story portray multiple perspectives that relate to the themes of maturity and existence.
Saw your light on honey in the cold. I said, anywhere I go, there you are.
In these first few opening scenes, we are introduced to the Bunyan family. We see many characters form their philosophy of life versus death, dependent upon their level of maturity. In these first few scenes, we see Vardaman, the youngest member of the Bunyan clan, witness Addie's death, beginning his confusion and formation of his beliefs.
What's that? A hog? Where'd you get it?
Down by the bridge.
You aim to leave it laying there?
No, I aim to show it to Mom.
You clean that fish?
I can't do it, they'll do it.
You clean that fish.
Ah, Pa.
You clean it.
You cash, you.
Darn them boys.
My mother is a fish.
If I jump off the porch, I will be where the fish was, and it all cut up into not fish now. I can hear the bed and her face and them, and I can feel the floor shake when he walks on it. He came and did it.
After Addie dies, Vardaman contemplates her death. He drops the fish in the dirt, and this symbolizes sickness or uncleanliness, and the fish is now cut up and dead, or as Vardaman puts it, not fish. Vardaman goes right into talking about Addie after the fish because he cannot differentiate the two images due to his immaturity. In the next scene, the related contrasting maturity between characters is shown through Darl's insightful yet complex monologue about existence.
In a strange room you must empty yourself for sleep. And before you are emptied for sleep, what are you? And when you are emptied for sleep, you are not. And when you are filled with sleep, you never were. I don't know what I am. I don't know if I am or not. Jewel knows he is, because he does not know that he does not know whether he is or not. He cannot empty himself for sleep, because he is not what he is, and he is what he is not, what he is not. And since sleep is not, and rain and wind are was, Addie Bundren will not be, and Jewel is, so Addie Bundren must be, and then I must be, or I could not empty myself for sleep in a strange room. And so if I am not empty yet, I am is.
This contradictory paragraph is the complete philosophy of Darl and his view of existence and being alive or dead. Darl ponders what death means and feels specifically to a person. He goes back and forth between being living, using words like is or are. He admits that he does not know what he is, if he is alive or dead, and then goes on to discuss how Jewel may be from a different father, but he doesn't realize what this means to him. He then connects this to Addie, and how Addie is alive, is, or dead, was. He then concludes that he must be alive, because he could not empty himself into a strange room, which would mean. This connects directly to Vardaman's approach on page 67, when he says, "Then it wasn't, and she was, and now it is, and she wasn't." Vardaman and Darl discuss the same topic in the same way, yet each are thinking more or less maturely.
Jewel's mother is a horse.
Then mine can be a fish, can it, Darl?
Jewel is my brother.
Then mine will have to be a horse, too.
Why? If Pa is your Pa, why does Ma have to be a horse just because Jewel's is?
Why does it? Why does it, Darl?
Darl is my brother.
Then what is your mom, Darl?
I haven't got her one, because if I had one, it is was. And if it was, can't be is, can it?
No.
Then I'm not, am I?
No.
I am. Darl is my brother.
But you are, Darl.
I know it. That is why I'm not is. R is too many for one woman to fold.
The Bungeon boys are discussing their mother and how they each relate to her life. Vardaman discusses how his mother is a fish and how the fish he caught directly relates to her. He asks Darl, the all-knowing, his opinion of Vardaman's relation to his mother. This explains Vardaman's immaturity and how he needs to reach out for answers within his brother. Vardaman has random spurts of his opinion and discussion in question. Then Darl contemplates the question as well, perhaps knowing what the answer truly is. Throughout the novel, our female protagonist, Dewey Dell, struggles with worry of her teen pregnancy. It seems to be all that crosses her mind, and in this intellectual scene, we get to take an inside look at her emotional wants and needs.
He could fix it all right if he just would. You don't even know it. He'd do everything for me if you just knowed it. The dead air shapes the dead earth and the dead darkness, further away than any scene shapes the dead earth. I said, you don't know what worry is. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether I'm worrying or not, whether I can or not. I don't know whether I can cry or not. I don't know whether I've tried to or not.
Dewey Dell can only think about the existence of a child that she's bearing. She can only think about death, that is, of her baby. Dewey then discusses of her intense worry of having a child, where she must force herself to become mature, though she may not want to. Ah, the infamous river scene. This scene exemplifies maturity through several of the characters, as well as the theme of existence. This is also very useful in characterization. Jewel is in the river first, desperately reaching for his dear mother because somehow it is as if she still exists in a way, at least for Jewel. There is also the theory that Addie is causing the difficulty in this scene, which in our case we truly experienced her wrath. Darl stays out of the river, observing the situation, and also goes in, showing that he is a part of every moment, every perspective.
Whose son are you? Your mother was a horse, but who's your father, Jewel?
You goddamn lying son of a bitch.
Don't call me that.
This exemplifies how Jewel perceives his existence within the Bungeon family, and how he feels distant from his siblings. Darl seems to know that Jewel is not included in the Ants Club of kinship, and so he probes Jewel to discuss and think about this hidden part of his life. Jewel does not actually know his true existence himself, and so immaturely lashes out at Darl. Knowing how you come into the world is a very important social part of any individual's identity, and for Jewel to be blindsided by this, he feels lost and separated from the true Bungeon family, and attempts to deny it. So, we had a really good time today.
Hope you liked our video. Absolutely dying video.
It was really
Enjoy.
Explain.
Blooper reel. And have a good day. Just going to work on the farm.
Nice.
Yep, there it is. Take a rock.
Well, it looks like we broke the wagon.
Your father's a poop and I hate it. Oh, wait, you should get one of me moving from the hips down. I want to move from the hips down. I'm active. Give it on.
Barbara!
Oh no! My mother is a fish.
Okay.
Okay, we're done.